This is Andy Gutierrez from StarWars.com, and you are listening to Coffee with Kenobi with Dan Z. This is the podcast you're looking for.
This is James Arnold Taylor, and you're listening to Coffee with Kenobi. I have a good feeling about this.
Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of CWK Live. I'm your friend and host, Dan Zare. Thrilled to be talking Star Wars with each and every one of you. It is CWK Live, the last regular one for a bit, and we will talk all about that here very, very soon. Let's bring in our friends. Hello, Mary. Happy Monday to you. Happy Starcruiser week, everybody. I think that deserves some sort of an excitement. Yes, we're very excited about the Starcruiser coming up in a couple of days. The Coffee with Kenobi MEI Mouse Fan Travel trip. Looking forward to that and bringing you all the coverage and information of that. Hello, Minta. This is the way. It's CWK Day. Great to see you. Terry is here. Hello, Terry. Looking forward to hanging out with you, playing some sabacc, buddy. Brian is here. Hello, Brian. This is the Monday. Great to see you. Brian was on for Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is a really fun conversation. Hello, Blake. Says, hey, CWK fam. I literally just walked in the door from work and am not prepared my life story. No problem, buddy. We're saving you a seat anyway. And David is here. Hello, David. Starcruiser week. Yes, David, we're going to have a good time, aren't we, my friend? Speaking of the Starcruiser, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and take a look at what's brewing in the world of Star Wars this week first.
And now, let's see what's brewing in the Star Wars universe this week.
I didn't even talk about what we're talking about this week, but obviously, you know you're here, and I'm very glad to see all of you. What is brewing this week? Well, it's the week of the Starcruiser, and this was pointed out to me recently. Yes, this is sold out, obviously. It's in a couple of days anyway, so the odds are good that no one would have just sort of grabbed the last slot anyway. But the Starcruiser sold out for the rest of the history of the Halcyon, which is the in-world name of the ship itself, or the place we're going to be staying. And then, so we're doing that, but on the 11th, that's the night before it all happens, we're doing a meetup. And I know Liberty Timmons, who's a great friend of the show, she's going to be on the Halcyon with us as well. She didn't know about the meetup, and some of you may not know about the meetup either. So whether you listen to the show live or you're going on the Starcruiser, does not matter. If you're in the Orlando area on June 11th, at 7 o'clock p.m. at Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar, myself, Tom Gross, Corey Clubb, and Mason Zare will be hanging out, ready to say hello to you from Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar for the Coffee with Kenobi meetup. Find out more at coffeewithkenobi.com/community. There's an event page there, but you do not need to sign up there. Just show up. Come say hello. We're very much looking forward to seeing you. David says, can't wait for the meetup as well. Perfect place to hang out and have fun. Yeah, it's going to be a really nice time. Blake says, I still plan on making the meetup. Well, I hope so, buddy. Mason is really looking forward to seeing you. Hashtag guilt trip. But no, we're just really excited to see you. Ben, hello, Ben. I hope you're having a great night, too. It's great to see you. Tonight's show, by the way, if you weren't quite aware, we're going to go through Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, the darkest film in the Indiana Jones storyline. We're going to go through our top 5 moments from that epic second film. Ben says, I'm so excited for everyone to experience the Halcyon. Yes, Brian, and I didn't forget. We do want to have you on at some point to talk about your experiences, which we will certainly do. Oh, good, Blake. Oh, I remember meeting your wife at the last meetup at Jock Lindsay, so that would be really cool. All right, so it's been a quiet week. I know that, what can I say? I'm not trying to be cryptic, but there's some cool stuff. There's a great new magazine featuring Ahsoka, all about her, and the upcoming series, which comes out in August, which is a couple of months away. Naturally, this is the month of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny coming up. Hopefully, Mason and I are going to watch Temple of Doom later today. He has never seen Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom, so we're looking forward to that. Ben says, I hope everyone has fun at the Halcyon soon and the meetup. Well, thank you, Ben. You will certainly be missed, my friend. There's no doubt about that. All right, well, we might as well just jump in. Your top 5 moments from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. That is what we are doing tonight. And then remind me later to tell you what's going on for the rest of June for CWK Live, because we got some fun stuff happening. But first, let's talk about this movie, Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom. I used to say it was my least favorite. I'm not sure if I'm ready to stay on that particular angle, but I don't know. Just something to think about. Because it's interesting. It's very different from Raiders of the Lost Ark, but it's still got amazing action and intensity. And Harrison never looked better than he did in this movie. It was awesome. Mean to number 5 is, hey, lady, you call him Dr. Jones. That almost made my list. I didn't quite put it there. I put Tuxedo Affair because of the opening. When Indy walks out in a white tuxedo, it's this wonderful little surrealist moment. Well, it's not really surreal, but it's sort of meta, because Indiana Jones was created because of Spielberg and George's love for the James Bond type of character. So when Harrison walks in as Indiana Jones in a white tuxedo, it very much is like sort of a wink to, hey, we want to kind of be like a James Bond, but we create our own thing and it's really successful. So I kind of like the slyness of that. Mary says, Chaz and I are on the road, so I'll just be listening tonight. Great, no problem, Mary. Great to have you on the show. Terry's number 5 is Club Obi-Wan. What a great Easter egg that is. 5 for Brian is our introduction to Short Round. Okie dokie, hold on to your potato. What a great opening line for a character. You know what I mean? It's just outstanding. By the way, the Target, the retro line has Short Round and Indy from Temple of Doom available at Target. I'm pretty sure you can order it online, so check that out if you're interested in collecting those figures. Let's see. Number 5 for David is the rail car chase. The whole thing is really exciting and suspenseful. The music by John Williams is terrific. I don't know. How do you feel, everyone listening, about if they went back and touched up some of the effects and kind of got rid of some of the matte lines and stuff to make it even more intense and dramatic? I would be okay with that, because I think it would bring in more recently born audience members that did not grow up in the era of visual effects the way they were before CGI. I mean, I still think it's a great, great sequence, and I love the music, and it's very exciting, especially when he uses his boots to stop the car's chase, or to stop the rail car itself. Anyway, I'm babbling. Let's go on to number 4. The sword callback, and I put callback in quotes. The scene I'm talking about is when right before they're about to go on the bridge, and these 2 or 3 thuggy swordmen come out and they pull out their swords, and he kind of smiles and he goes to grab his gun, but it's not there, so he just kind of runs off. So I put callback because even though this happened in the movie after we saw Raiders of the Lost Ark, in real time, in real life, in the movie, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is a prequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark. Now, there are 2 reasons for that, which we'll get to later, that were practical. So it's a callback, but it's also not a callback in story, but out of story it very much is. And it's kind of a fun little moment. Blake says, one's in the rail car chase, a big CGI moment from ILM. Not that I remember. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I think the big CGI moment was in Willow with the morphing of the woman into the tiger and things like that, and then from the abyss, that water creature. Means as 4, there's a very strained chemistry between Willie and Indiana Jones, but it's no surprise that they warm up to each other quickly. He's always had a way with the ladies. That's just a fact. That is true. That is very true. Brian's 4, the traveling adventures of the antidote in the opening sequence. I like that you described it as the traveling adventures of the antidote. That is very clever and a very apt title for that. Terry's 4, the trouble with her is the noise. He loved the creature discoveries in the poker scene. There's some really funny moments in this movie, and that's a good one. As I'm typing that, Dane answered my question. Well, I'm glad, Blake. I am here to help, buddy. David's 4 is the whole scene in Club Obi-Wan. Got to get the antidote. It's a great moment in the Lego Indiana Jones game, too. Ben, I personally like seeing what they can do with the technology of their time. I do, too. And it was extraordinarily effective back when this film came out, which is 1984, which is also the title of a great Van Halen album. But that's for another podcast or a conversation for another day. Okay, that is number 4. We're going fast. It's only been 10 minutes and we're already in number 4. I better slow down. I have noticed when I edit these, I notice on the live shows, I talk so much faster than I do on the regular Coffee with Kenobi. I don't know if I'm just excited to see all of you here or what the deal is. So, interesting observation. All right, let's go to number 3. Temple Discovery. So, the movie has kind of a slow build-up. It's not slow. But if you compare the second half of the film to the first half of the film, the second half is all action. The first half doesn't have a ton of action, except for the opening part, naturally. But once they get into India and they go to the village, and then they go to the actual Bangkok Palace, obviously there's a lot of exposition, but it's good. It's captivating. And there are little things thrown in there, but you know what I'm saying. And then when Willie and Indy have that kind of romantic pre-dalliance sort of a situation, if you know what I mean, what he goes through to discover that there is actually behind this pillar is an actual temple. Obviously, it's a temple of doom, but he doesn't know that. But it's really ominous. But sort of the archaeological Indiana Jones-ness of it all, where he finds how to get into this place, is really a great piece of film and storytelling. I really like that a lot. So that's my number 3. Just the build up to that. It was really cool the way he finds that there's air and he like pushes on the statue, and it's really well done. Okay, let's see. I'm going to where people are. Okay. 3, for me, to the big rail car chase looks like something out of a theme park, which you can get anyone's adrenaline going minus the derailing part of it. Yes, it's awesome. A lot of people have brought that up so far. Terry, Let Me In versus Let Us Out. The bugs were pretty creepy. I can't wait till Mason sees that part because he is not a big bug person, so that's going to really test him. Blake's 3, I only have a top 3 because I'm working off memory here, but I love Short Round. He was super lovable as a kid and a great adult actor, even though I didn't like at all the movie he won an Oscar for recently. I thought he was amazing. Yeah, he's great. He's a great actor. Ki Hugh Kwan. It's nice to see him getting his dues. Terry says, I was just telling my dad I wish there was a park ride of the rail car chase scene. There are always these sort of buzzes about, I have to ask Jim Hill next time I talk to him about the potential for a rail car scene, because that would be cool. And I mean, there is the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland, which is great fun. It doesn't really have the rail car chase, but it's really thrilling in its own right. Brian 3, the exchange of hats and Indy's apology between Indy and Short Round. That should have been my number 1. That's a beautiful sequence. Thank you for pointing that out, Brian. David, the interplay between Indy and Willie, fun banter while trying to make their way through this adventure. Absolutely. And they definitely have some good conversations. Ben, I'm sure they can do the derailing on the ride to make it feel real without the bumps and bruises. Yes, I hope so. Otherwise, it will not be very popular, I would say. But yeah, that would be nice. Really nice. Let's go to number 2 of our top 5 favorite moments from Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom. Number 2 for me is when Indy looks through that little hole in the cave and he says to Willie, "We are going to die." And he says it like very angry and irritated, and it very much enunciates everything. The John Williams score keeps crescendoing and getting more and more intense. It's just, that whole thing is just a great thing. That whole trap is just fantastic and very cryptic and dark. And it's just it really punctuates it. Like if you wanted to, you could kind of laugh at how mad he is, but you don't even have time to find anything funny because you just think this is it. Like if maybe fair to say that of all the sequences in Indiana Jones films, this is the one where he came the close to actually dying. I feel like that's a reasonable thing to say. Okay. Terry's 2, this is the night I slipped right through your fingers as Indy reaches for the door while being choked. Yeah, again, that's a great line, Terry. There's a lot of funny stuff in here. Very, very clever. And perfectly timed, of course. Spielberg at his best. Brian's 2, after Indy gets the sacred stone, he hears the sound of the children from below and chooses to go save them. Ooh, that just gave me chills because that's serious stuff. That's it's a really dark scene. Blake says, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the end have an alligator or crocodile death scene as a Floridian? That's something we toy with every day. Yes. Oh, very much. There was all these, I would assume because of the location, it has to be crocodiles, but I think it was made in an alligator pit in Florida. I think. I'm not 100% sure. Minta says, too, the scene of the ceremony is 100% nightmare fuel. Oh, I was trying to explain to Mason how he needs to be aware that this is going to be kind of a scary, crazy scene. 2 for David, the character is Short Round. Wish we had seen him in more Indiana Jones adventures. I do too. But what we got was gold. And when we're on the Starcruiser, if he hasn't said it on the show already, David, you should ask Tom about Short Round because he's got a whole diatribe where he talks about it. So take that for what it's worth. But it will make for some good conversation when we're in the Sublight Lounge and the Starcruiser itself. All right, let's go to number 1. What is your favorite moment from Indiana Jones and Temple Doom? My favorite moment? Indy Returns. This is such an iconic scene. I have goosebumps. After Indy is free from the Kali curse or whatever it's called, there's this scene where these guys are running and Indiana Jones. You just hear this punching and this guy goes sliding across the gravel and rock, and the camera pans up and shows Indy like it shoots him like up to make him bigger, and he's standing there and he's got his hat on, he's bruised and bloodied, and he's so angry and he's ready to fight and he's ready to help these kids. It's a very, I have more goosebumps. It's a very heroic moment. It's awesome. And they always use it in clips when they're introducing the character of Indiana Jones. It's just fantastic. I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. Terry says, Indy, number 1, let's just get out if you're right. All of us. Yeah, that's awesome. That's right. That's the line right before my number 1, Indy Returns. Ben, I remember the ceremony scene as a child and just saying, so I just thought, nope, no, gave me nightmares for days. Oh, it used to be so disturbing. Whenever I go to the theater to see this movie, I didn't want to see that part again. Mintus 1. I love the relationship that Short Round and Indiana have. They have sort of a father-son chemistry going on, and they help each other out in every crazy scenario that we can think of. It's true. And it's really lovely. They have some really wonderful, poignant moments. I hope they, I don't want to speculate about the new movie, but I think it's wonderful scenes too. Blake's won the blow-up raft out of the aircraft that was used as a parachute. Explains how Indy could also survive a bomb blast in a fridge years later. Exactly. People got upset about that fridge thing. Have you seen Temple of Doom? Have you seen any of the Indy movies? They all have some crazy escapes, but they're fun. David's one is the intensity of the ceremony scene. Honorable mention, chilled monkey brains. No one's brought that up. I don't know if you can see. Let's see. Oh, yeah. On my, look over here. See over my shoulder there? It's the Clayton Sandell for my birthday a couple years ago. Got me a replica of the cup of the chilled monkey brains. And it's back there with a bunch of other Indiana Jones stuff in my studio. Anybody else have a number 1? I think I got... Oh, here we go. Brian's Indy, I love you. Short Round's loyalty is so amazing, isn't it? He's just a great actor, a great character, just a really fun kid. One of my favorites. So yeah, I love Short Round, and now I'm thinking even more. I got to get the Adventure series, 6-inch scale Short Round because he's a great character, and that the figure itself. I've said many times on the show, he has like Indy's leather jacket when he's wearing it. And he's got Indy's fedora, and this looks really good. Oh, I keep thinking, I'm telling you, man, I forgot my Indiana Jones hat. Rats. Oh, well. Okay, I'm babbling. What's going to happen next week? Well, a lot's going to happen next week. Let's just throw it up there now. So here is what's going on. David says, Clayton with a chilled monkey brain cup for the win. Very much. All right, so next week, the next 3 CWK lives, or next 3 weeks is going to be really crazy. Terry says, thanks for leading us to the series. Haven't seen Temple of Doom for years. Oh, cool. I'm glad, Terry. I feel like it's just fun. I feel like a lot of people, hopefully, are going through and doing indie rewatches because it's just a lot to see. Okay, so next week, June 13th, is going to be the next CWK Live. Oh, I thought I wrote the time down on this thing. Well, rats, let me check for you. I'm pretty sure it's going to be... Oh, I did, yeah. It's at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. 5 o'clock Eastern Time, which will be 4 o'clock Central Time on June 13th is going to be the next CWK Live. So it's not next Monday. It's going to be next Tuesday because next Monday, I looked at the Starcruiser schedule and there's no time. There's really no time to do a live show. So we're going to squeeze something in on the 13th. Those of you who are going to join me on a Starcruiser are more than welcome to join me on camera on the live show. Excuse me, I had to take a drink. Minta says, even though I can't make it on the cruise, I'm excited to hear the stories. Minta, we wish you were joining us and can't wait to share the stories with you. Ben's going to listen next week from the car as he drives the class. Good, Ben. We'll save you a spot. Okay, so next week, the live show will be on the 13th, which is a Tuesday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. And then the next week, the 19th, there will be no live show. I'll be on vacation with my family, so I'm taking the week off. Let me get another drink. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. And then June 26th, which is a Monday, CWK Live returns. Now, I haven't quite settled on what I wanted to do was every Monday and Thursday, before we get to Dial of Destiny, I wanted to be sure to cover each of these movies. But then, the Starcruiser was here, and obviously that's going to take precedence because a lot of people put a lot of time and money and effort into this trip. And I'm going to go on vacation with my family. Ben says, where are we going? We're actually going to go. We're going to spend some time in Florida on the beach. And maybe perhaps go do a bit of a road trip around the southern United States. We're very much looking forward to that. It's going to be fun. And then again, live show returns on the 26th. My guess is we'll probably do the top 5 moments from Last Crusade. And that will just leave Crystal Skull. And then, of course, the Dial of Destiny. So that is probably what we will do. We'll just kind of see how it goes and how I feel and all that good stuff. But I will certainly let you know in the cafe. But again, this is the schedule. Next week will be on a Tuesday at a different time. And then the 19th, that week will be no live show. And then CWK Live returns on the 26th. I will post this image in the cafe too. All right. Well, I promised you we would go to trivia. It says coming next Star Wars trivia, but no, it's actually going to be Indiana Jones trivia. So let's do some Indiana Jones trivia. Now, we haven't done Indiana Jones trivia before. Let me pull up my questions I've got here. It's going to be fun to ask you these things. Okay, so buckle up. You know how this goes. Don't look anything up naturally. But just do your best, and we'll see how it goes. Okay. Are we ready? The first question is, Brian says, June 26th, top 5 moments from the Zare Road Trip Crusade. Ooh, that's a good idea. I like that. Okay, first question. Who is the actor who plays Dr. Elsa Schneider in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade? Who is the actor who plays Dr. Elsa Schneider in the movie Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade? I'll give you a few moments to kind of think it over. But again, the question is who's the actor who plays Dr. Elsa Schneider in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade? Any ideas? Go ahead and type in your answers if you would like. I can just hear Mary and Chaz answering while they're listening and they're driving. I'm sure you've got the right answer, you two. We'll see. Anybody else have an answer? Again, who plays Dr. Elsa Schneider in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade? Any guesses at all? No one's even typing anything. Oh, Blake says Harrison Ford played them all, furthering my argument he's the best actor ever. Look, I love Harrison. But I don't think that's the right answer. Mita says, is it Allison Duty? Well, yes, that is the right answer. Nice job. Nice job. I just said yes right away because no one responded. And I think you'll probably stump some people, which is fine. Oh my gosh. Mary says a blondie with an overbite. Well, that's nice. I don't really know what to say to that. Okay, what kind of pet does Indy have as a boy? You got to be specific. What sort of pet does Indy have as a boy? We know it's a dog, okay? We know that. But what kind of dog does Indiana Jones have as a boy? Any ideas? I'm interested to see if people would know the answer to that. Mary says it's a dog, yes. Mina says a Siberian Husky named Indiana. Okay, that's the first guess. Mita's on fire with these guesses, just firing them off. I love it. That's good. Let's see. Blake says, is it a golden retriever? David says, is it a husky? All good guesses. Anybody else have a guess they would like to chime in on? Terry says, looks like I'm going to learn a lot of Indiana facts tonight. Yes, you are. Ben says, Cocker Spaniel. I don't think so. That would be interesting. Brian says, I'm with Minta. That's fun. So it's a husky. It's actually a husky Malamute mix. Not that anyone would necessarily know that, but it's a husky Malamute mix. Okay, this one. Indiana Jones was an understudy to Abner Ravenwood. What university was he studying at? Where did Indiana Jones go to school where he met Abner Ravenwood? Anybody know the answer of this university? It is a real university, by the way. It is a real university. Indiana Jones was an understudy to Abner Ravenwood. Which university was he studying in? Anybody know the name of the university where Indy studied archaeology under Abner Ravenwood? What was the name of that real university? It's not a fictional one, it's a real one. Going once. Brian says, I think it starts with an M. Okay. Anybody else have a guess? Minta says University of Chicago. Okay. Anybody else? So, Minta obviously is wearing a fedora as she's watching the show because she's got that right as well. Minta, you were on it with your indie facts. Nice work. It is the University of Chicago. When I saw Crystal Skull in the theater and they brought up University of Chicago, everybody in that theater cheered. I thought that was pretty cool. All right, let's do a couple more. That one's too easy. I'm not going to ask you that. Let's see. In Temple of Doom, how many Shankara stones fall to the bottom of the ravine? In Temple of Doom, how many Shankara stones fall to the bottom of the ravine? Anybody know? Brian says 2 stones. Minta says 2. Terry says 2. I'm assuming this will be pretty fresh in your minds. Assuming you all watched these before we did our top 5 for this evening. Ben says 4. So we've got Minta says 3. Brian says 2. No, that Minta says 2. Terry says 2. Brian says 4. The answer is 2. 2 fall to the ravine. One's caught by Mullah Ram. It burns his hand and he falls and Indy catches it. So there's your answer. That's too difficult. Let's see. Whoops. There we go. Okay, let's do one more. What is the name of the language of the tribesmen that chase Indiana Jones at the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark? What is the name of the tribesmen who chase after Indiana Jones at the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark? They work with Belloc. They're the ones who famously chase him and with their blowguns and try to stop him, and then he jumps on that vine and swings to the plane, only to fall into the water before he gets to the plane itself. But what is the name of these native people, these tribesmen, These fierce warriors who were chasing after Indiana Jones in the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Dun, 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 dun. Any guesses on that one? One more time. Notice the name of the tribesmen, the natives who chase after Indiana Jones at the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Mita says the Nazca, Nazca. That is the first guess. Any other guesses? Who are the tribesmen who chase after Indy at the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark? Belloc sends them after him. Any other guesses? Terry defers to Minta. Blake says, my insane neighbors. Well, that would be a plot twist. So maybe this will help you. Belloc says to Indy, you could have won them if only you spoke Jovitos. So it's the Jovitos. The Jovitos are the tribesmen who chase after Indiana Jones. Well, there you have it, friends. Let's go ahead and jump into Ask Dan Z. All right, Ask Dan Z, we are going to do a pre-show. I'm hoping that will come out before we go on the Starcruiser, where Tom and Corey and I sort of do a pre-game show talking about what's going to go on the Starcruiser. I will say, if you are going on the trip or want to know more about the actual Starcruiser, Coffee with Kenobi show number 500, which came out February 25th, 2022, is the live show where we talk all about the Starcruiser. 501, I give a full walkthrough tour, which I post in the cafe. 502, we do the top 5 Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser food options. And then let's see, 505, I interview people who worked on the Starcruiser, including Matt Martin and Doug Chang. And then 507 is top 5 Galactic Starcruiser tips featuring me, Lou Mangello, and Becky Menken. So there are a number of options out there for you if you want to get a little bit of extra tips or advice on experiencing the Starcruiser itself. So hopefully that will help you quite a bit. Let's see. What do you think they'll do with the space when the Halcyon is? I don't know. That's a good question. I hope it sticks around. It's a beautiful, beautiful building. But I don't know. I hope they keep it a Star Wars hotel, obviously. But there's a lot of stuff they'll have to do with it. So we'll see. We'll see. Han versus Indy, who would win? Gosh, I don't know. Oh, I don't even like to think about that. Because they're both awesome for different reasons. I tend to give the edge to Indy. But I don't know. It would be hard. Terry says, you cut your beard. Did you cut your Obi-Wan-like hair too? It is a lot shorter because it's summer and it's really hot in central Illinois. But by the time you see me, Terry, the beard will be decent, I promise. Blake, have you watched the new Muppet show about Electric Mayhem? It's the best Muppets I've watched in about a decade. No, I've not seen it. But everyone keeps telling me that it's awesome. So, I need to watch it, don't I? I think I will. I have my character name and get upset. Can you give me a hint as to who you will be? David wants to know. David, that would ruin the fun, buddy. I can't tell you. Ben says, Minta, I say Han, he always shoots first. Ooh, that's clever, Ben. You know what? I think that deserves a rim shot. Very, very well done. So again, be on the lookout. We're going to do a CWK Starcruiser pre-show, answering your questions. Don't forget about the meetup if you're going to be in Orlando on Sunday, June 11th at 7 o'clock p.m. We're going to be at Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar. As many people as possible going on the Starcruiser or just going to be in the area anyway. Come by, say hello. We'd love to meet you, say hello, and thank you for everything. Terry says, David, I got the perfect Halcyon intro story too. That's great. Again, don't forget, June 11th, 7 o'clock p.m. And then also, remember, the live schedule is going to be quite a bit different. Next week is going to be on Tuesday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, live from the Starcruiser. The week of the 19th, no live show. I'll be on vacation. And then June 26th, CWK Live returns on a Monday. Brian says, looking forward to seeing everyone on the 13th. Enjoy the meetup on the 11th. Yes, good. Looking forward to it too, bud. Blake says, love my CWK family. Can't wait to see y'all soon. We are looking forward to seeing you as well, Blake. Minta, may the force be with you again. We're going to miss you all so much if you can't join us on the Halcyon, but trust me when I say we're going to bring you as much of it as we possibly can. Lots of impromptu live stuff. We really be checking our Coffee with Kenobi Instagram account, especially the stories, and actually Twitter and Facebook, the CWK Cafe. All of us there will be posting lots of stuff. It's going to be a blast, Mary. We will see you soon. Terry, very much looking forward to seeing you next week as well. And I'm looking forward to chatting with all of you. There's going to be a lot of Coffee with Kenobi coming your way very, very soon. So stay on the lookout for that. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me tonight. May the force be with you. Safe travels to Florida if you're joining us on the CWK and Mouse Fan Travel trip. And remember, this is a podcast you're looking for. See you soon, friends. Bye-bye.
This podcast is not endorsed by the Walt Disney Company or Lucasfilm Limited. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. The official Star Wars website can be found at www.starwars.com. Star Wars, all names, sounds, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and or copyrights of Disney and their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Coffee with Kenobi unless otherwise indicated.
This is the podcast you're looking for.
There's no one here. Move along. Move along.